What the Buddha Taught, Chapter 7 Meditation or Mental Culture, Bhavana. The Buddha says, O Bhikkhu, there are two kinds of illness. What are those two? Physical illness and mental illness. There seem to be people who enjoy freedom from physical illness even for a year or two, even for 100 years or more. But, O Bhikkhu, rare in this world are those who enjoy freedom from mental illness even for one moment, except those who are free from mental defilement, i.e., except arahants. The Buddha's teaching, particularly his way of meditation, aims at producing a state of perfect mental health, equilibrium, and tranquility. It is unfortunate that hardly any other section of the Buddha's teaching is so much misunderstood as meditation, both by Buddhists and non-Buddhists. The moment the word meditation is mentioned, one thinks of an escape from the daily activity of life. Assuming a particular posture, like a statue in some cave or cell in a monastery, in some remote place cut off from society, and musing on, or being absorbed in some kind of mystic or mysterious thought or trance. True Buddhist meditation does not mean this kind of escape at all. The Buddha's teaching on this subject was so wrongly or so little understood that in later time the way of meditation deteriorates and degenerates into a kind of ritual or ceremony almost technical in its routine. Most people are interested in meditation or yoga in order to gain some spiritual or mystic power like the third eye, which others do not possess. There was some time ago a Buddhist nun in India who was trying to develop a power to see through her ears. While she was still in the possession of the power of perfect eyesight, this kind of idea is nothing but spiritual perversion. It is always a question of desire, thus for power. The one meditation is a very poor substitute for the original term bhavana, which means culture or development, i.e., mental culture or mental development. The Buddhist bhavana, properly speaking, is mental culture in the full sense of the term. It aims at cleaning the mind of impurity and disturbance such as lustful desire, hatred, ill will, indolence, worries, and restlessness, skeptical doubts, and cultivating such quality as concentration, awareness, intelligence, will, energy, the analytical faculty, confidence, joy, tranquility, leading finally to the statement of highest wisdom, which see the nature of things as they are, and realize the ultimate true nibbana. There are two forms of meditation. One is the development of mental concentration, samatha or samadhi, of one-pointedness of mind, sikti kakata, Sanskrit, siktai karata, by various methods prescribed in the text, leading up to the highest mystic state, such as sphere of nothingness or the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. All these mystic states, according to the Buddha, are mind-created, mind-productive conditions, sankhata. They have nothing to do with reality, true nibbana. This form of meditation exists before the Buddha. Hence, it is not purely Buddhist, but it is not excluded from the field of Buddhist meditation. However, it is not essential for the realization of Nibbana. The Buddha himself, before his enlightenment, studied this yogic practice under the different teacher and attained to the highest mystic state. But he was not satisfied with them because they did not give complete liberation. They did not give insight into the ultimate reality. He considered this mystic state only a happy living in this existence, Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara, or peaceful living, Santa Vihara, and nothing more. He therefore discovered the other form of meditation known as Vipassana, in Sanskrit, Vipassana or Vidarshana, insight into the nature of things, leading to the complete liberation of mind, to the realization of the ultimate truth, Nibbana. This is essentially Buddhist meditation, Buddhist mental culture. It is an analytical method based on mindfulness, awareness, vigilance, observation. It is impossible to do justice to such a vast subject in a few pages. However, an attempt is made here to give a very brief and raw idea of the true Buddhist meditation, mental culture, or mental developments in a practical way. The most important discourse ever given by the Buddha on mental development meditation is called the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the sitting up meditation. This discourse is so highly venerated in tradition that it is regularly recited not only in Buddhist monasteries but also in Buddhist homes with members of the family sitting around and listening with deep devotion. Very often, bhikkhus recite this sutta by the bedside of a dying man to purify his last thoughts. The ways of meditation given in these discourses are not cut off from life, nor do they avoid of life. On the contrary, they are all connected with our life, our daily activity, our sorrows and joys, our words and thoughts, our morals and intellectual occupation. The discourse is divided into four main sections. The first section deals with our body, kaya. The second with our feelings and sensation, vedana. The third with the mind, citta. And the fourth with various moral and intellectual subjects, dhamma. It should be clearly home in mind. It should be clearly borne in mind that whatever the form of meditation may be, the essential thing is mindfulness or awareness, sati, attention or observation, anupassana. One of the most well-known, popular and practical examples of meditation connected with the body is called the mindfulness or awareness of in and out breathing, anapanasati. It is for this meditation only that a particular and definite posture is prescribed in the text. For other forms of meditation given in this sutta, you may sit, stand, walk, or lie down as you like. But for cultivating mindfulness of in and out breathing, one should sit. According to the text, cross-legged, keeping the body at rest and mindfulness at last. But sitting cross-legged is not practical and easy for people all of countries, particularly for Westerner. Therefore, those who find it difficult to sit across legs may sit on a chair keeping the body at rest and mindfulness alert. It is very necessary for this exercise that the meditator should sit erect, but not stiff. His hand placed comfortably on his lap. Thus, seated, you may close your eyes or you may gaze at the tip of your nose, as it may be convenient to you. You breathe in and out all day and night, but you are never mindful of it. You never for a second concentrate your mind on it. Now you are going to do just it. Breathe in and out as usual, without any effort or training. Now, bring your mind to concentrate on your breathing in and breathing out. Let your mind watch and observe your breathing in and out. Let your mind be aware and vigilant of your breathing in and out. When you breathe, you sometimes take deep breaths, sometimes not. This does not matter at all. Breathe normally and naturally. The only thing is that when you take deep breaths, you should be aware that they are deep breaths and so on. In other words, your mind should be so fully concentrated on your breathing that you are aware of its movements and change. Forget all other things. Your surroundings, your environments do not arise your eyes and look at anything. Trying to do this for 5 or 10 minutes. At the beginning, you will find it extremely difficult to bring your mind to concentrate on your breathing. You will be astonished how your mind runs away. It does not stay. You begin to think of various things, you hear sound outside, your mind is disturbed and distracted. You may be dismayed and disappointed, but if you continue to practice this exercise twice daily, morning and evening, for about 5 or 10 minutes at a time, you will gradually, by and by, begin to concentrate your mind on your breathing. After a certain period, you will experience just that split second when your mind is fully concentrated on your breathing, when you will not hear even sound nearby, when no external world exists for you. This slight moment is such a tremendous experience for you, full of joy, happiness, and tranquility, that you would like to continue it, but still you cannot yet. But still you cannot. Yes, if you go on practicing this regularly, you may repeat the experiencing again and again for a longer and longer periods. That is the moment when you lose yourself completely in your mindfulness of breathing. As long as you are conscious of yourself, you can never concentrate on anything. This is a sign of mindfulness of breathing, which is one of the simplest and easiest practice. Is meant to develop concentration leading up to the very high mystic attainment dhyana. Besides, the power of concentration is essential for any kind of deep understanding, penetration, insight into the nature of things, including the realization of nirvana. Apart from all this exercise on breathing gives you immediate results. It is good for your physical health, for relaxation, sound sleep, and for efficiency in your daily work. It makes you calm and tranquil, even at the moments when you are nervous or excited. If you practice this for a couple of minutes, you will see for yourself that you become immediately quiet and at peace. You feel as if you have awake after a good rest. Another very important practical and useful form of meditation, mental development, is to be aware and mindful of whatever you do physically or verbally during the daily routine of work in your life, private, public, or professional. Whether you walk, stand, sit, lie down, or sleep, whether you thrust or bend your limbs, whether you look around, whether you put on your clothes, whether you walk or keep silence, whether you eat or drink, even whether you answer the calls of nature. In this and other activity, you should be fully aware and mindful of the act you perform at the moment. That is to say, that you should live in the present moment, in the present action. This does not mean that you should not think of the past or the future at all. On the contrary, you think of them in relation to the present moment, the present action, when and where it is relevant. People do not generally live in their action in the present moment. They live in the past or in the future. Though they seem to be doing something now, here they live somewhere else in their thoughts, in their imaginary problems and worries, usually in the memories of the past or in desire and speculation about the future. Therefore, they do not live in, nor do they enjoy what they do at the moment. So they are unhappy and disconnected with the present moment, with the work at hand, and naturally they cannot give themselves fully to what they appear to be doing. Sometimes you see a man in a restaurant reading while eating, a very common sight. He gives you the impression of being a very busy man with no time even for eating. You wonder whether he eats or reads. One may say that he does both. In fact, he does neither. He enjoys neither. He is strange and disturbed in mind, and he does not enjoy what he does at the moment, does not live his life in the present moment, but unconsciously and foolishly trying to escape from life. You cannot escape life however you may try, as long as you live. Whether in a town or in a cave, you have to face it and live it. Real life is the present moment, not the memories of the past, which is there, which is dead and gone, nor the dreams of the future, which is not yet born. One who lives in the present moment lives the real life, and he is happiest. When asked why his disciple, who lived a simple and quiet life with only one meal a day, were so radiant, the Buddha replied, "They do not repent the past, nor do they brood over the future. They live in the present moment. Therefore they are radiant. By brooding over the future and repenting the past, full dry up like green is cut down." Mindfulness or awareness does not mean that you should think and be conscious I am doing this or I am doing that. No, just the contrary. The moment you think I am doing this, you become self-conscious, and then you do not live in the action, but you live in the idea I am, and consequently your work too your, your work too is spoiled. You should forget yourself completely and lose yourself in what you do. The moment the speaker becomes self-conscious and thinks I am addressing an audience, his speech is disturbed and his train of thought broken. But when he forgets himself in his speech, in his subject, then he is at his best. He speaks well and explains things clearly. All great work, art, artist, Buddhist, intellectual, or spiritual is produced at those moments when its creators are lost completely in their action. When they forget themselves altogether and are free from self-consciousness. This mindfulness or awareness with regards to our activity taught by the Buddha is to live in the present moment, to live in the present action. Here in this form of meditation, you haven't got to perform any particular action in order to develop mindfulness, but you have only to be mindful and aware of whatever you may do. You haven't got to spend 1 second of your precious time on this particular meditation. You have only to cultivate mindfulness and awareness always, day and night, with regards to all activity in your usual daily life. These two forms of meditation discussed above are connected with our body. Then there is a way of practicing mental development meditation with regards to all our sensations or feelings, whether happy, unhappy, or neutral. Let us take only one example. You experience an unhappy, sorrowful sensation. In this state, your mind is cloudy, hazy, not clear. It is depressed. In some cases, you do not even see clearly why you have that unhappy feeling. First of all, you should learn not to be unhappy about your unhappy feeling, not to be worried about your worries, but trying to see clearly why there is a sensation or feel or a feeling of unhappiness or worry or sorrow. Trying to examine how it arrives and how it's caught, how it disappears. Its sensation and trying to examine it as if you are observing it from outside without any subjective reaction. As a scientist observe some objects. Here, too, you should not look at as is my feeling or my sensation subjectively, but only look at it as a feeling or a sensation objectively. You should forget again the false idea of I. When you see its nature, how it arises and disappears, your mind grows dispassionate towards the sensation and become detached and free. It is the same with regard to all sensation or feeling.